I suppose the entrance exam is already finished by now, right?
Yeah, it has.
Oh, really? I know you must have worked so hard for this and are tired now. Should I come pick you up?
No, you don't have to, because I'm gonna stop by the amusement arcade on my way back home.
Yeah, I guess you can play and do whatever you want now that the exam has ended. Well then, have fun. I'll see you later. By the way, what would you like to eat for dinner today? I'll make anything you want to eat.
No, I don't need dinner, because I'll just go eat somewhere on my way home too.
Well, did you call your cram tuition teacher?
Yeah, I did. But it's not like this is my first entrance exam, you know. I've experienced this already, so you don't have to check up on if I've done these things or not.
Oh, yeah, that's actually right.
And I hope that I can finally end the entrance exam studies this year. I definitely don't want to be a gap year student and prepare for entrance exams again next year.
You'll definitely pass the entrance exam this year. Because I know you've been studying so hard for this. Don't worry, because everything will be okay.
Are you trying to cheer me up? Because if you are, it's just worthless, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make a compliment on your hard work as your mother.
You don't have to say unnecessary things, you know. And actually, you're not even my real mother anyway.
But I've raised you for over 18 years. Since it's been that long, I would say we do have a strong relationship like a mother and son now.
I don't think time matters at all. If we're not actually related, you're just not my real mother. My father is the only real family member to me.
Hey, don't say such a thing. It's making me feel sad. Since your father was working far away from home, I was the one who was with you most of the time, right? But after all these years being with you, you still don't think of me as family?
But I have a real mother that gave birth to me. That fact will not change. So I just can't call you mother, putting my real mother aside. You're just a stepmother to me and nothing more than that.
But you actually don't know where your real mother is and what she's doing now, right? And just remember that I was the one who actually took care of you and raised you since you were little.
Can you just stop that? I just hate that attitude of yours. You know that it's your fault that I failed going to university and had to go through 2 years as a gap student in the first place.
What? You're saying that is all my fault? What did I actually do wrong to make you feel that way?
Because of the way you raised me, I definitely became bad at studying, like now. If you want to be admitted as a mother, you should have raised me up and guided me so I would enjoy studying. If you had gone through that effort for me, then I wouldn't have to suffer studying at all and would have passed the entrance exam way before.
Well, I'm so sorry that I didn't notice about that, but I just don't know what I should have done and what was best for you.
And in addition, you were working, so I was always left alone at home. So unfortunately, there's just no way to say that you were a good mother to me by looking back at the past.
Oh, I see. Since your father was working far away, I guess I made you feel even more lonely in that situation. I'm so sorry to make you feel like that, but you know that I had to continue to work to make a living for our family, so I just want you to understand that situation.
You had to work, and we had trouble making a living because Dad didn't put any money he earned into our family savings, right?
Well, unfortunately, that's right.
Well, didn't that happen because of you as well?
What? Me? Why do you think so?
Because I suppose Dad didn't have any feelings left for you anymore, and he's probably having an affair with another woman as he's been living separately from us.
No, that can't be true.
No, it has to be absolutely true, but I can understand why Dad didn't try coming home to us at all. It's because you aren't attractive enough as a woman.
How dare you say such a thing?
Don't you know that there's no man out there who would think that you're attractive? Maybe you might have been a little better in the past, but now you're just an old lady, you know? I'm so embarrassed about you that I can't even introduce you to people.
Embarrassing? Oh, so that's how you felt about me? I did try to do my best as your mother up until now, though. So I'm just so shocked to know that you were thinking of me like that after all these years. Hey, Ron, what time are you coming back home? I was just thinking, since I can leave work early tonight, why don't we go out to eat somewhere?
Why do we have to go out?
Well, because you got accepted to university, and I haven't actually had a chance to congratulate you on that.
If you really want to congratulate me on that, then just give me some money. Then I could just buy whatever I want to with it.
But why don't we celebrate once, just by the two of us? I can take you to an expensive steakhouse, and we can splurge on some steak if you want to.
But I definitely won't be happy going out eating with you, and I'd rather go with Dad if we're going to a steakhouse.
Ron, why does it have to be your dad? You know that I'm the one who's been living together with you all this time. So I really want to celebrate this special occasion with you. Because I know how hard you studied these few years to be accepted to university.
So as I've been saying, you're not my real parent, are you? If I'm gonna be congratulated, I want to be with my real family.
Hey, Ron, don't you think that is actually a horrible thing to say to me? I am the one who has been doing everything for you than my husband all these years.
But even so, I've always missed my dad, you know? I've tried so hard up to now because I just wanted to be praised by Dad. There's just this bond between a father and a son that mothers can never understand.
Oh, I see. I'm so sorry. I guess I got carried away and got angry. I do understand that you just miss your father. I guess you're just going through something like a rebellious period, right?
Well, I'm not so sure about that, but I am tired from studying too hard to enter university. So I do want you to just leave me alone for a while, and I don't want you to bother about me, because I'm not a child anymore.
Well, I guess that's right. And since you were living far away from your father, I understand that you want to be congratulated by him.
So now that you understand, I need the money. I want to go to Los Angeles to meet Dad right away.
All right, I understand. Well, I hope you say hello to him for me, too. And can you tell him to please come back and visit us once in a while?
Though I do think that may be worthless, I'll be sure to tell him anyway. By the way, have you processed the payments for the tuition fees for my university? I suppose the payments were due by next week, so I was concerned if it was already processed. And you're gonna pay for all the tuition fees at once, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'll go ahead and process the payment.
Yeah, I actually need you to pay for all of it by tomorrow.
All right, I'll do so.
Please, just don't forget about that payment, okay? If you do forget about that, all that effort and hard work will be wasted, you know.
Of course I understand. I'll try to process the payment as soon as possible.
Please do so, and I'm planning to go to Los Angeles tomorrow.
How many days are you planning to stay in Los Angeles?
I haven't decided yet, and since I'm visiting Los Angeles, I want to do some sightseeing around there as well, so I guess I might stay there for maybe 2 to 3 days.
All right then, I'll prepare the money for you. So I hope you enjoy and have a safe trip to Los Angeles. And please say hello to your dad. Hey, Ron, are you still staying in Los Angeles? I thought you were going to come back home much earlier.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. I'm actually coming back home today. Since Dad couldn't seem to adjust his plans, I finally met him yesterday, so that's why this trip took longer than I expected.
Oh, I see. How is your father doing? Is everything okay with him? Did he congratulate you about being accepted to university?
Yeah, he actually took me to a seafood restaurant, and yeah, he seemed to be fine, and he did congratulate me.
So I guess you had a lot to talk about since you haven't seen each other for a while, right? 2 men hanging out together sounds fun.
Yeah, it was actually really fun. Since Dad likes music too, we especially got excited talking about that. As we both have the same hobbies, it was really fun to talk to each other. So from now on, we promised to meet each other like this once in a while.
Well, that's great to hear.
And we talked about our future from now on. I said that I wanted to live alone by myself starting from university, and Dad agreed to that as well.
What? But You have no problem commuting to your university since it's close to our house, right? But even so, are you saying that you just want to move out of our house and live alone?
Nope, you've got this all wrong, because you're the one who's actually gonna have to leave the house and not me.
What? Why me?
Because that house is Dad's parents' house, right? So why would I have to move out?
I just don't understand. Why am I the one who has to move out?
That's because I just don't need you anymore.
What do you mean you don't need me?
Don't you understand? All right, I'm gonna have to say this straight into your face. Since I don't need a mother role for me anymore doing things for me, I'm saying, just get out.
Do you really think you can live on your own without me?
I'm gonna enter university now, so of course I'm old enough to handle things on my own.
Don't think that I'll be convinced with that kind of excuse. And remember that I'm your family, too.
But when I talked about this, Dad was actually saying that he doesn't mind divorcing you.
Really? That man said such a thing.
Unfortunately, it seems that he was not interested and didn't care about you at all. So don't you think you should just get divorced from Dad? Because I suppose you're the only one that still thinks of us as a family. And since I'm an adult now, I can live on my own, so you don't need to worry about me anymore. So why don't you try living a new life on your own as well?
I can't believe you can say something like that.
But since you're just an old woman, you should probably give up on having any relationship with someone, though.
Hey, wait. Is it really true that your father said that he wanted to divorce me?
As I said, why don't you divorce her? He said, well, I guess I can consider that. But it's like you two are already living separately anyway.
But now, your father's just working far away. It's not like we're living separately deliberately, you know.
Well, actually, it seems that Dad had offers to transfer back to New York a few years ago. But since he thought living with you again would be so troublesome, he refused the transfer offer. I can't believe he's not so interested in you.
No, that can't be true, because he hasn't told me anything about that.
No, it's not a lie. I think you've just got to start accepting this reality, because Dad just doesn't care about you at all anymore. He didn't bring up the divorce until now because he needed you to take care of me.
I don't care what your father says to me, but I can't believe you're the one saying this to me. After all these years, I took good care of you on behalf of your father, who just never seemed to come home to us, and I practically raised you on my own as my real son. I supported you even throughout your gap years as well.
To me and Dad, you're just like a convenient robot for us, doing everything and taking care of me. We were just using you because we needed support, that's all. But unfortunately, as you've fulfilled our purpose, we don't need you anymore.
No way, that is so horrible. How can you treat me this way after all I did for you?
Since you've already paid the tuition fee, you're just worthless to us now.
I have always thought that you were so rebellious to me because of the stress from the exams and studies and your rebellious period. No, I suppose I was the one that was trying to think of it that way. But I guess I've got to accept reality now. And I've finally realized that you're just like your father, being such a heartless person.
Nope, you're just so stupid, that's all. I can't believe you didn't even notice that you were just being used by us all this time. If you had just thought it through, I assume you would have noticed this situation much earlier. Hey, I heard that you had a chance to talk to Dad. You actually decided to go through a divorce with him without any refusal, right?
Yeah, that's right. I've decided to divorce your father.
Well, then thanks for everything, stepmom. Since you've already paid for my tuition fee for university, you're free to move out from our house anytime. And you no longer have to be involved with me ever again, okay?
Oh, really? Is that so? Okay, then I'll move out and will never be involved with you two ever again as you wish. But just remember that. I actually haven't paid for your tuition fee anyway.
What?
And I don't intend to pay for it either, so I hope you somehow manage preparing your own tuition fee by yourself. Good luck to you on that.
What do you mean? Didn't you say that you already processed the payment before? I did remind you the other day to make the payment transmissions, right?
Since I was busy with work, I was going to handle the payments later on. But I was planning to pay for it by the deadline, though.
Why didn't you just go ahead and process the payment immediately when I told you to?
Come to think of it now, I'm so glad I didn't process the payment yet, because I absolutely have no obligation to pay for such a heartless person's tuition fee.
Hey, wait! You can't just do this to me! What's gonna happen to me now? I spent years studying so hard as a gap year student and finally got accepted to my first choice university. That hard work is gonna be just wasted if the tuition fees aren't paid.
As you said yourself, since you're an adult now, you should be able to handle this with your own responsibility.
Hey, don't joke around with me! Are you actually trying to destroy my life?
You're the one who couldn't wait to spill this all out to me until the right timing. So I guess it was a big mistake to jump too early to get rid of me.
Hey, wait! I'm sorry, I was wrong about this. Please, forgive me, Mom. I beg you. Please just pay, at least for my tuition fee. This is all too sudden, and the payment due date is so close.
Mom? Oh, it's been quite a while since I heard that from you. What are you trying to say by calling me Mom now? We're not a family because we're not related, right? Remember, you're the one who said that to me.
Yeah, I did, but...
So you should be more responsible about the things you say. You're the one who pushed me away first, you know. So I just did what you wanted me to do.
Damn it. All right, go ahead and do whatever you want to, because I can do anything without you now. I just have to ask Dad to pay for the tuition fees instead of you. So it's as simple as that.
That's right. Why don't you have your real father look after you from now on? Since you two seem to get well with each other anyway. And I'm going to live on my own now. I'm just so fed up with having to handle all these troubles about you and your father anymore.
You actually thought taking care of me was troublesome?
Well, it is a fact that you're so troublesome. Honestly, you were such a big burden in my life.
Oh, that's it. You're so pathetic. Even though you acted like you were trying to be my mother, you're just a stranger to us after all. I know that's why you're not trying to help me at a time like this. You're the one who is so heartless.
No. Actually, I believe that I'm pretty patient and more tolerant of things than an average person. But being dumped by a person like me means that you're really worthless.
Hey, Mom, can you actually just reconsider paying for the tuition fee? I just can't manage entering a university in a situation like this. Please, I beg you.
But I thought you were going to rely on your father instead of me.
Actually, I did ask Dad to pay for the tuition fees, but he just refused. He said that since I was the one who wanted to enter this university, I had to handle this situation all on my own. I can't believe he can do this to me as a father. He's so heartless to say such a thing to his own son.
I do think it's too late to say that. Of course that man is heartless. Didn't you notice that? Because that's what I've been trying to say to you. He's a man who just hands his son over to his stepmother and goes far away without even coming back.
I guess you're right about him. And to make things worse, it seems that Dad doesn't have enough savings to pay for the tuition fee anyway. Come to think of it, I wonder what Dad has been spending all that money for, even though he never gave us any money for our family. And it seems that he has some debt, too. Did you already know about all of this, Mom?
Yeah, I actually did know about this. Your father's been spending money wastefully for quite a while. That man has just been like that ever since.
But even so, I can't believe that he wouldn't even pay for my tuition fee. What kind of a parent is that? Even though I studied so hard and finally entered my first choice university. If I graduate university and start working, I can return any of that money. If you look at this from a long perspective, there are more benefits for me to go to university. So I can't believe he can't understand that and just refuses to pay for the tuition fee now.
Don't you know that he's a man that can only think about the immediate future? That's why he doesn't have any savings left and has always been irresponsible about money. But you must accept the reality now, because that hopeless man is actually your real father.
But, on second thoughts, I guess I just need you.
Huh?
I want you and don't need Dad anymore. I just want to be with you, Mom, and that's all I need.
Hey, Ron, after going through all of this, don't even try calling me Mom, okay? Because I don't have a son.
Hey, don't say such a horrible thing. We've been living together, just the two of us, all these years, right? To me, you'll always be my mother.
Yeah, that's right. I've always been looking after you all these years by myself. I've gone through so much to take care of you up until now. I've always loved you and worked hard paying for living expenses and took care of you when you were sick. But I guess you didn't notice all my affections towards you after all. Because despite the fact that I've done so many things for you all these years, you just said to me that I was completely worthless now.
I can understand your affection towards me now. I just respect you for doing so much for me, even though we're not actually related. I should have appreciated your support more through our daily lives. I guess I just finally noticed these things after going through all of this.
But unfortunately, it's just too late to notice these things, you know?
Hey, how about this? I'm gonna cut off my relationship with Dad, so why don't we live together, just the two of us in this house? I promise to do whatever it takes to honor you from now on. I'll even take care of your life after retirement by myself.
But that means that I'm going to have to support and continue to take care of you until you graduate university, right? I absolutely don't think I can stand that anymore.
All right then, how about just 1 year? I'll start saving up money by working a part-time job, and I'll manage paying off the rest by getting a scholarship. So I just want you to help me get through the first year of university.
If you really want to go to university, then I guess you'll just have to convince your father first. Unfortunately, that's now the only option you have left. Because I absolutely can't support you any further. So I guess this is all up to you to solve this issue.
But how do you think I can actually convince him to support paying off my tuition fee? I just don't think that bastard will understand this situation, even if I explain this to him.
Well, I think you should know how to persuade him better than I do. Because you're just the same as your father, you know. You both just wouldn't listen to anything I said. Blood will tell, like father, like son. So isn't it terrifying to be related to someone after all? After that, Ron was able to convince his father to give him financial support for just 1 year. But his father just couldn't manage all his payments as expected, and eventually increased his debt to try to pay for Ron's tuition fee. However, as it was difficult for Ron to work a part-time job while studying at university, he gradually started losing his university credits one after another. And eventually he had to quit university as he couldn't manage both studying and working together. However, as his father still demanded Ron to return the initial fees that cost first, it seems that their relationship has gone worse. Although Ron still does seem to regret about losing me and probably went through some tough times on his own, I don't actually care about that at all. As I am so free now, I feel like the world surrounding me has turned from plain monochrome to a bright, colorful world. I'm just enjoying living a fulfilling life every day. Up until now, I just had no doubt in putting love and great affection to raising my unrelated son for all these years. As my husband was living far away and we were living together with just the two of us, I tried so hard to do everything for him, just like a real mother. But I guess I was just really forcing myself to live a life trying to be a good mother for him. But from now on, I'm going to live a free life as I've always wanted to, and will no longer force myself to do anything against my will anymore, and to finally live a life I've always been waiting for. Thank you for watching Peep Talk videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to leave any comments. Please visit us again to check out the next video.
Eve, Are you seriously telling me that this is all you've made me for lunch? I work and work and all I get is spaghetti bolognese and some salad? You kidding me, right? And if you're gonna make a bacon Caesar salad, can you at least fry the bacon until it's crispy? And there isn't enough variety with the vegetables. All you've put in here is lettuce and cucumber. Where are the tomatoes? Do you really have to be that cheap when you're making my lunch? I can't eat something like this at work.
Sorry, I didn't have enough time to dice up all the vegetables, so I kept it simple. I know you really like tomatoes, but I don't think it's so bad without them. And you've got tomato sauce for the spaghetti after all. I know you always want soup with your lunch, but we've run out of the instant packets. I'll get some today so you can have soup with lunch tomorrow.
God damn it, Eve, why didn't you buy some before we ran out? Those instant sachets are meant for when you're busy, so don't use them when you don't have to.
I'm sorry, I've been really busy.
I don't expect you to make everything from scratch, you know. I never asked you to do that. Just make sure you don't cut corners like this ever again.
Tom, I really have been busy ever since we moved in with your parents. I know that you must be dealing with a lot at work, but I can't keep up. I have to take care of your mom while I watch Maya and do the housework. I have to be everywhere at once, and I don't think it's fair on Maya that I can't prioritize spending time with her. I need more help, Tom. I think I'm going to collapse if I keep on like this.
You've got my dad with you. Get him to help.
Have you ever seen him helping me out around the house? He's not doing anything.
You don't see it, but I'm pretty sure that he's doing whatever he can when he has the time. Besides, you're a housewife. This is your job. I think that's the least you can do in exchange for everything we're providing you with.
The least I can do? That's what you think? I only agreed to move in with your parents because you said that everyone would cooperate with taking care of your mom, doing the housework, and even raising Maya. Why has it all become my job and my job alone?
I'm taking care of Maya when I get home from work, aren't I? I watch her in the evenings while you're doing all the stuff you didn't finish during the day.
Yeah, but you're literally just watching her. What I mean is that you could help out by giving her a bath, feeding her dinner, and putting her to bed. You're always playing around on your phone while I'm rushing around getting the laundry and cleaning done too. Can't you give me a hand?
Eve, you just don't understand how lucky you are, do you?
What?
You may have to take care of my mom, but it's not like that's such a big deal. She's just paralyzed. It would be a lot harder to deal with her if she was suffering from dementia, but because she's still coherent, you get off with just helping her to go to the toilet and in the bath. It's easy. And because my dad's living with us, he's watching Maya whenever he can, too. I think you're asking for too much. Honestly, you're just being spoiled. There are more adults in the house, so there's no way it's gotten harder to deal with Maya and all the housework.
But it hasn't. I feel like I've got to deal with a lot more than I used to.
I told you, quit being so spoiled. You're never going to be able to manage anything if you keep on complaining that you've got too much to do. You know, one of my colleagues gave birth to twins the other day. His wife's been taking care of them all on her own, as well as all of the cooking and cleaning. And guess what? She's even working from home. I wish you'd learn from her. Maybe you should make a few changes to your routine and find out if there's another way to do things more efficiently.
Then do you think you and your dad could at least do your own laundry and maybe cook dinner for yourselves?
We're already doing more than enough. My dad's been making sure that he doesn't put too much pressure on you, you know? This is his house and he shouldn't feel like an outsider. I don't know what else you could possibly want from us. You're just taking advantage of our kindness.
Tom, you're the only one I can rely on in this house. I'm the one that feels like an outsider. Do you understand that?
You really started to get on my nerves, Eve. I've got to get back to work. I'll talk to you later.
Wait, Tom, if we don't talk about this now, we never will. You don't listen to me when you come home from work, so how am I supposed to make it clear that I need more help around the house? Will you really listen to me when you get home tonight? You're working overtime this evening, aren't you? I'll stay up, so can we please talk when you get back?
Eve, can you let me know when you're going to get back home? My wife's been calling you for a while now.
Dennis, I'm really sorry, but I've gone out to do the grocery shopping. I've just arrived at the supermarket, so I'll be home in an hour or so. Could you tell Tom's mom that I won't be home until then? I'll go and check up on her as soon as I get in.
Well, I'm telling you to come back right now. It's urgent.
What? Has something happened?
She says that she wants to go to the toilet. You'd better help her or she's going to wet herself, and then you'll have to change her bed sheets too.
Do you think you could take her to the toilet instead? All you have to do is help her sit down on the toilet and she can deal with the rest on her own. It really is that simple.
You're telling me to wipe my wife's ass? Why the hell should I do that?
No, all you have to do is give her a hand moving from the wheelchair to the toilet. That's it.
No way. I'm not doing that. I doubt that she wants me to help her. I'm pretty sure she'd prefer you to help her, Eve.
I don't understand why you'd think that, but does it really matter?
Listen, Eve, my wife may be paralyzed from the waist down, but she still feels embarrassment, you know? If she were a little more out of it, then she might not give a crap, but she's not suffering from dementia yet.
I get that, but...
Then you should understand how awkward it is for her to ask me to help her when it comes to the toilet. I'm not wiping her ass no matter what.
I told you, you don't have to do that. She can do that by herself. So you just have to take her to the toilet and sit her down.
It's the same thing. Come on, Eve, you've got to do better than that. We're letting you live in our house rent-free, so I think you owe us. You've got to do this much or you'll be no different from a freeloader.
All right, I'll come back right away.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I'll let my wife know that you're coming back. Come back as fast as you can. My wife's been calling your name for ages and she won't shut up. I'm gonna get a headache if you don't come back soon. Hey, Eve, I'm going out to drink with some work friends, so I don't need dinner tonight.
Could you have told me that a little sooner?
What are you so pissed off about? You should be happy that I actually messaged you in advance. Other guys wouldn't even bother to call their wives.
You, your mom, and your dad, all you do is think about yourselves. You're all so self-centered that I can't even spend a moment to put myself first. I'm sick of dealing with you three. I'm sick of it.
What? What are you getting so hysterical about? Will you chill out? I'm the one that's letting you be a stay-at-home mom, you know. It's all thanks to me. You should be a little more grateful that you have things easy. I'm working my ass off all day so that we can keep a roof over our heads and so that we have food to eat. Quit acting like you have the world on your shoulders, 'cause I'm the one that's really got it tough.
I never said that I wanted to stay at home. If anything, I wanted to get back to my old job. I was looking for a kindergarten to leave Maya to during the day so that I could return to work, but you said that you wanted to move in with your parents. You didn't even give me much of a choice, saying you already started talking to our landlord about ending the contract on our old house.
What was I supposed to do? I couldn't just leave my mom and dad to fend for themselves after my mom's accident. She hasn't been able to walk since she fell off her bike. My dad can't take care of her on his own.
I don't know how many times I've had to say this, but I only moved in with your parents because you promised that everyone would work together to get the chores done, and that your dad would help me take care of your mom. I thought that I would have more help from you and your dad when it came to raising Maya, too. But in the end, I've been doing everything by myself and haven't had any help from any of you. All you and your parents do is tell me to do this and that and increase my workload. You're just weighing me down. I'm just a maid to you all. You expect me to drop everything and prioritize your orders even when I'm doing something that's urgent. Sometimes I feel like it would be much easier to just leave and raise Maya on my own.
What, so you want a divorce?
Frankly, I think about it a lot.
Oh, really? Then go ahead and leave.
What?
Do you really think that you can make it alone? Just so you know, once you leave this house and start raising Maya as a single mom, you're gonna get a lot busier than you've been up until now. You're gonna have to do all the housework alone. You'll have to work full-time to earn enough, and you won't have anyone to rely on when it comes to raising Maya. If you're complaining about the way things are now, then you'll never be able to make it as a single mom, so just give it up.
Well, I don't think so.
Then go ahead and do whatever you want. You're useless anyway. We don't need you in this house, so leave if that's what you really want.
You're not even going to consider changing things to support me more?
Yeah, I don't give a crap. I don't need a housewife who's gonna do nothing but complain and whine and act spoiled. I'm the one that's providing you with everything you have. Don't you forget that. You owe me. You don't have any right to complain about anything I do. Go ahead and leave and see how well that goes for you. I bet it'll be hell for you.
All right, then I'd be happy to leave. I don't think there's any other way I can show you just how hard I've been working and how difficult it's been for me. Of course I'm taking Maya with me.
Damn right you are. You're the one that gave birth to that brat. Why the hell should I have to clean up after the mess you made? Oh, but if you ever feel like coming back, you better get down on your knees and beg us all for forgiveness. Otherwise, we're never gonna let you in our house.
Hey, Tom, you've got to hurry up and get back here.
Dad? What? I'm drinking with friends. I'll get back to you later.
I'm telling you to come back right now.
What do you want? I'm having fun here.
Eve's missing. I can't find her. Maya's gone too. I've been calling and calling, but Eve won't answer her phone. What am I supposed to do? How else do I contact her?
Huh? Eve? She's already left. We don't need a housewife that's as useless as she was. We're better off without her.
You idiot! What the hell have you done? Who's going to take care of the cooking and the cleaning? Who's going to take care of your mom?
Dad, will you calm down?
It's fine. She'll be back before you know it. She won't last that long on her own. When is she coming back? I want Eve to come back right now. It's urgent. Your mom's been calling for Eve and she won't shut the hell up.
What? Mom? What does she want from Eve?
She says she wants a bath.
Then why don't you give her a bath instead?
Why should I give your mom a bath? That's Eve's job.
Yeah, but Eve's left and I'm out with friends. You're the only one at home who can help Mom.
Then you come back and help her. You never told me that you were going to be out this late.
What? No way! I don't want to see my own mom naked. That's just wrong.
I don't want to see her naked either.
What are you talking about? You're married. You had me. You've already seen her naked. I haven't seen her naked in all the years I've been alive. I'm not about to reset that record. You'll have to do it yourself, Dad.
See? This is what happens if Eve isn't here.
What do you mean?
If Eve isn't here to deal with your mom, then we have to fight over who does what in her place. You're the one that chased her out. You should take responsibility and take over Eve's jobs. It's only fair.
All right. If you're gonna say that, then you should know that it's not just my fault. You're just as responsible for Eve leaving us.
What? How is it my fault? I never did anything.
Exactly. You never helped her when she needed it, and you were always asking her to run errands for you. You made her buy you beer after dinner, and you pretty much forced her to deal with Mom on her own, didn't you?
I only asked her to buy beer as a favor when she was going to the store. What's so bad about that? And as for your mom, she's the one that's always calling for Eve.
Even so, there's still something you could have done to help her out, right? You didn't have to make her do everything. You could have helped make dinner or hung the laundry out to dry, stuff like that. You could have even watched Maya when she was busy. Eve left us because you didn't do anything, period.
Then what about you? Before you point fingers at me, you should take a good look at what you did and didn't do. You think it's enough that you're working full-time and puff up your chest because you're the breadwinner? But when you come home, all you do is roll around and watch TV or play on your phone. You spend every day doing pretty much the same thing.
At least I bring some money home. You're not even working. You're just a freeloader.
I'm not working anymore because I retired. I have a right to rest, and I am bringing some money home. These past few months I've been working once a week.
You just signed up to that job because you wanted to have someone to talk to. It's just a gathering of old-timers who don't do anything. It's not work, it's a get-together.
Damn you, Tom. I'm not putting your mom in the bath. I'm not doing anything to take care of her. That's not my job. You'll have to deal with her on your own.
No way! I'm not doing anything either. You've got plenty of time on your hands, so you should be in charge of doing all the housework, including caring for Mom. I just moved in with you guys because you asked me to. You should be happy that I'm actually paying for the food you eat. If you don't want me to leave, then you should be the maid in Eve's place. Until she comes back, that is. You can do whatever you want once she's moved back in with us. Eve, you've got to come back pronto! Please, I'm begging you. We really need your help.
Tom, did you get the divorce papers I sent you? Haven't you seen them yet?
Divorce papers? What are you talking about? I never saw any divorce papers.
What? But you're the one that chased me out. That means that you want a divorce, right? I even told you that I was prepared to become a single mother, didn't I? I thought you told me to get out because you didn't care whether Maya and I left or not. You told me to go ahead, remember?
What? No, I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted you to think about what you were saying. You were getting really heated up, so I said that you'd never be able to make it on your own.
Oh, but I am calm. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Come on, can't we just forget about the divorce for now? Just come back. You know that that's what's best for everyone, especially Maya. The house is a mess, too. You've got to sort everything out or it's going to be a wreck forever. I don't even know where to start. It's total chaos. We haven't been able to give my mom a bath since you left last week, and she's really starting to smell. And it's not just her. The entire house just kind of reeks. I don't know where the smell is coming from.
But I'm not coming back, Tom. I want a divorce.
Come on, Eve. Stop acting tough. I know that you really want to come back.
Tom, if you're not going to sign the papers, then I'll just have to have you come to court and have a judge make you sign them. I've got to call my lawyer, so make up your mind. Are you going to sign them or not?
Eve, wait a minute. I want to sit down and talk about us properly, too. I get that we can't go forward until we're on the same page, but our first priority should be to deal with the state the house is in. My mom really needs a bath.
And I am telling you to put her in the bath yourself. It's your own problem, not mine. From now on, I don't ever want to talk to you or your family ever again. I want nothing to do with any of you.
Listen to me, Eve. My dad's been saying that he wants to apologize, too. He feels terrible for pushing all the work onto you. He's accepted that he was at fault, too. My mom really wants you to come back, too. She misses you.
So what? Is that supposed to move me?
I'm saying that you should come back home. I said too much the last time we spoke. I went too far. I didn't really mean any of it. I just got a little too agitated. But I'm not angry with you anymore. I forgive you.
Do you really understand the position you're in? You're telling me that you forgive me? For what?
Huh?
I'm telling you that I am never coming back to live with you people ever again. You three are always so self-centered and don't care about how I feel or what I say. You forced everything onto me, including all the housework, taking care of your mom and raising Maya. You even made me run personal errands. I had to do everything alone, and you think that I want to come back? Screw that.
Well, we're gonna fix that. We won't make you do everything anymore.
By the way, you're the one that I can't forgive the most. Do you realize that?
What, me?
Yes, of course you. What are you so surprised about? You're the one that said we should move in with your parents. You're the one that tricked me into thinking that it would be better that way. You asked me to become a housewife, Tom. I gave up my career because I thought that that was best.
But you're the one that agreed to it in the end.
That's because I thought that we were all going to support one another. You said that you would. But as soon as we moved in, I was suddenly in charge of doing everything. You wouldn't help me with anything, no matter how much I asked. You even had the gall to say that I was being spoiled, didn't you?
I'm sorry. I take that back. I know that it was wrong of me to say that. I know that it must have been really tough for you.
I'm glad you finally understand, even if just a little. But just because you finally admitted your wrongdoings, it doesn't mean that I'm taking back my decision. I'm not coming back, and I'm still pushing for a divorce.
What? But why? I said I'm sorry. We really regret making you do everything. My dad and I'll help you from now on. We promise.
It's too late for that now. I bet that you're thinking that you can sweet-talk me into coming back and getting the entire house back in order to save yourselves the trouble of doing the dirty work.
I'm asking you to come back because we really can't do it alone. My dad and I have never done the housework before, so we don't know what to start with. And I just can't deal with my mom. I don't want to help her on the toilet or put her in the bath. She's my mom. It's just gross. And she's been in a really bad mood ever since you left. She keeps on throwing things at me and Dad to take her anger out on us.
That's nothing new. She's always thrown things at me, too. If she called me while I was doing the housework or when I was doing something and couldn't get to her right away, she'd throw things at me for not coming to her quick enough. She'd hurl verbal abuse, too. I've gotten a bruise on my forehead from her throwing a remote at my head, but you never even noticed.
What? You never told me that.
No, I told you. I told you when it first happened and the few times after that, too. But every time I tried to talk to you, you were so engrossed in your phone games that you wouldn't even respond to me properly.
I'm sorry. I'm always spaced out when I come home from work. I can't help it.
That's not true. You just never cared about my feelings. That's why I don't think it's worth working my ass off for you and your family anymore. There's no use in giving my all for someone that doesn't even care about me.
Eve, I really am sorry. Please, I know that we were taking advantage of you.
There's no use apologizing either. I'm not going to forgive you.
Please, I promise that I won't make you shoulder all the burden. I'll work harder, even if it kills me. So please, will you just come back? At this rate, we're not going to be able to live in this dump.
See? The reason why you want me to come back is for your own convenience, nothing more.
No, I really do want you to come back. I want you back because I love you. I don't want to be separated from Maya either. I don't want us to be split up. I want us to be together in one house as a family.
You're the one that's broken up our family, Tom. If you were more sincere about wanting me back, I think you would do something about the house before I came back and prove that you've changed. But you don't care about me or Maya. I can't keep on living with someone like that. And I certainly don't think that it's good for Maya to live with a father that refers to his own daughter as a brat.
Hang on, I was just upset when I said that. I didn't mean it. I really didn't mean it.
I don't care. Being upset isn't an excuse for hurting someone else's feelings. No matter how much of a mess the house is in, no matter how much trouble you're in, I am never coming back to live with you. Remember that. Sign the divorce papers and deal with everything yourself. From today onwards, I am cutting ties with all three of you. After that, my husband and I went through divorce mediation, and the divorce was finalized a whole 6 months later. Apparently, my ex-husband thought about running away to live on his own and even found a small apartment to live in until his parents repeatedly called his workplace. He ended up returning to live with them after just one day of staying in his new place. It seems that he's been busy taking care of his mother and dealing with the housework, so even though he's been allowed to meet Maya a couple times a month, he still hasn't managed to make an appointment with us. It saves me from having to see him face to face. I sometimes get some sickening poems through the mail, begging for me to come back and for us to be a family again. But I've been ignoring them all. I have no intention of going back to live with him ever again. I want him to suffer the same way I did and realize exactly what he put me through. I hope that he'll spend the rest of his life regretting the mistakes he made. Hey, Jaden, do you have some time to talk?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. What's up?
I wanted to ask you for some advice about what to wear when we go to meet your parents this weekend. It's my first time meeting them, and we're announcing our engagement, so I don't want to give them any bad impressions. What do you think I should wear? I'm leaning towards wearing a dress, but I think wearing a blouse and those beige trousers I've got might be nice too. Like, business casual? I can't decide, and I just keep on throwing stuff back in the closet.
You don't have to worry that much. They'll love you no matter what you're wearing. I'm planning on throwing on the usual stuff I wear, a shirt and jeans, and I'm done.
Well, yeah, it's okay for you to wear whatever you want because they're your parents. I can't be that laid back. Oh, it's so unfair. My parents are gone, so you don't have to stress out about having to look your best and making them like you. You have it so easy, Jaden.
Ha! Don't say that. I told you there's nothing for you to worry about. Besides, you say that I don't have to look my best, but I'm always acting with them in mind, you know?
Huh? What do you mean?
They've already passed away, so it's even more reason for me to watch my own behavior. If they're watching over you from heaven, then they can see everything that I'm doing and wearing, too. They're always with us, Julia, even if we can't see them.
They're always watching us? So you think that my parents have come back as ghosts just to keep an eye on you and make sure you don't get up to no good?
It's possible. We don't know what happens to people after they've passed away. That's why I'm always acting with them in mind. Instead of a what would Jesus do, it's more what would Julia's parents think kind of thing. I'm trying my best to stay on my best behavior at all times.
You're so silly, Jaden. I didn't know that you believed in ghosts. I'm seeing a new side to you, even after all this time.
I didn't really believe in them before. It's a pretty new concept to me, too. Do you remember when we went to visit your parents' grave and you introduced me to them?
Yeah?
I actually had a dream that night of your parents. It was pretty surreal.
What? You never told me that before. You saw them in your dream, even though you've never met them in person?
Yeah, you've got that picture of them on your desk, don't you? The people in my dream looked exactly like that. Of course, my brain must have just made that dream up because of that picture and the trip to their grave, but...
And what happened in your dream? Did they say anything to you? Did they give you any hints about how to deal with me?
Nope, they were just standing in front of me smiling. They didn't move or say a word.
Wow, that's pretty surprising. You might be able to count that as a paranormal encounter. But why didn't you tell me that you had a dream about my parents? You better tell me the next time they turn up. I want to know.
Sorry, I really was going to tell you. It just slipped my mind until now.
I'm going to tell my little sister that you met our parents in a dream. Mia loves those kinds of stories.
Oh yeah, how is she? We haven't seen her much lately, so I was wondering what was going on with her. Is her work pretty busy? I hope she's taking it easy on her days off.
Yeah, she's been pretty busy ever since she changed departments. She told me that there's a lot of new rules that she has to get used to. And it turns out that there's a creepy old guy working in the company they're doing business with, and he keeps on chatting her up.
What? That's messed up. Is she doing okay? Mia's a really sweet girl, so she must be having a hard time telling him to back off.
Yeah, if it were me, I would glare at the guy and tell him to piss off, but she's not like that. She told me that she's having a hard time at work because she's so busy, but it sounds like having to keep in touch with this asshole is what's really draining her. He's always going off on a tangent whenever she calls to confirm details and stuff.
Yeesh! Can't she mention something to her manager and get them to intervene?
That's the thing. She says that the company she works for is a subcontractor that works for his company. So she thinks that it's not going to change anything, that she's not in any position to complain about him when they're providing her company with work. Apparently her department manager told her to be especially careful when dealing with that guy when she was first assigned to the project, so she's not so keen on telling anyone in her department. She's scared that they'll defend him instead of her.
That sucks. Maybe she should just ask if they can have someone else take over and deal with him in her place.
That won't make any difference. It doesn't matter who's in charge of the contract they have with his company because he's already gotten her number. Mia told me that he first started bothering her at a party that was held to celebrate the foundation of his company. And that's where he coerced her into sharing her phone number. And that's not all. Apparently he's part of the management, so he's got a lot of power and influence over her company too.
Yeah, that does sound pretty complicated. If only there was someone at his company who would listen to what she has to say.
I know, but she's already been enduring this for months. Instead of bringing it up with HR and letting them drag this out, I want to end this as soon as possible. So I'm thinking of intervening myself.
What, seriously?
Yeah, if a family member intervenes, then the issue will be read differently. It won't be an internal thing, so the management won't be free to cover things up, and we can probably take him to court as a private individual. I don't care if I have to play the bad guy, I just want to make sure that Mia is okay.
That's true. If they see that you're serious about making a big deal out of it publicly, then they might actually back off. It's not such a bad idea. But just be careful, okay? You might be able to one-up him, but he's still a guy. You never know if he might resort to using force. I don't mind stepping in as Mia's future big brother if you need any help.
Yeah, you're the first person I'll ask if I need anything. Anyway, clothes. What should I wear to your parents' house? I still haven't made up my mind.
You look cute no matter what you wear. Just throw on whatever you feel like wearing on the day.
Oh God, I knew I shouldn't have asked you. You're no good when it comes to asking for fashion advice. I'm gonna ask my sister instead.
Then why didn't you ask her to begin with? I just said what I thought.
Aiden, we haven't met, but my name is Julia. I'm Mia's older sister. I've heard a lot about you and how you've been harassing my little sister these past few months.
What? You're Mia's older sister?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice to hear from you. Great timing, too. You know, I haven't been able to get through to Mia these past few hours, and I was wondering what was wrong. We've got a lot of documents and stuff we've got to go through, and it's pretty troublesome when she's not available for this long.
I actually wanted to talk to you about that.
What? Did something happen to Mia? Is she all right? We're pretty close, so you can tell me anything.
No, nothing's happened to her. I'm just going to warn you, stop messaging her, leave her alone, and don't ever contact her ever again.
What?
You invited her to go to a hotel with you last night, didn't you? We lost our parents a long time ago, so I raised her in their place. As her older sister and her only family, I am not going to just stand by and let you talk to her like that. I don't want you sending her disgusting messages like the ones you sent her last night ever again. Do you understand me? And would you please quit sending her photos of yourself? It's just creepy. My sister isn't interested in having pictures of some random guy on her phone, and it's just making her uncomfortable.
What? I just invited her to come and have a drink with me at the bar in the hotel, that's all. It's harmless. I don't like what you're accusing me of. You should know how serious that is.
I recall you saying that you had already booked a room for both of you to spend the night. How is that harmless? You can make all the excuses you want, but I've taken Mia's phone away, and I've looked through the messages you've sent her. The evidence is damning.
So that's the reason why I didn't get any reply from her. It's all your fault. You're the one that's getting in the way. Listen to me, Julia. I've just been keeping in touch with Mia because our companies do business together. What's so bad about being friendly with someone I work with? Even if you are family, you don't have any right to get in the way of our work.
Considering the contents of the messages you've been sending her, I highly doubt that you can say that you've been messaging her at work. Everything you've been sending her is completely inappropriate in the workplace.
You said that you lost your parents, didn't you?
Yes, that's right. What about it?
I've just been keeping in touch with Mia because I felt sorry for her. I could tell that she's been through a lot in the past, and I felt that she was in need of a father figure. I've been treating her like she's my own daughter.
What? A father would never invite his daughter to a hotel. You are the last thing Mia needs. And Mia's still in her early 20s. I hear that you're already nearing 60. It's just sick that you think that you can take advantage of a young woman because you have power in your company. And you already have a family of your own. What would your wife and child think about this? You should be ashamed of yourself.
I haven't done anything to be ashamed of.
Oh, really? Then I guess you don't mind if I go and show your wife the chat you have with my little sister?
Yeah, go ahead and show her, if you can. But I'd be worried about Mia if I were you.
Why should I worry? Sharing this with your wife will solve all of her problems.
Will it really? Aren't you worried about her losing her job if you do something like that?
Mia's already told me that you're not working at her company. You work for another company.
Yeah, but I have the authority to cancel all of the work we've got with her company.
Oh, is that so?
You both lost your parents early on in life, and I hear that you've suffered a lot as a result. You've had to work your ass off to take care of yourself and your sister, haven't you?
No, not at all.
You don't have to play tough with me. You must have been pretty desperate. I wouldn't be surprised if you still are. Judging by your profile picture, you're just as beautiful as your sister is. I don't mind you joining us. I'll take good care of the both of you.
Oh, that is just gross.
What?
I said you're gross. It's just revolting that you can actually say something like that.
How old are you?
I've turned 29 this year, and?
Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I take back that offer for you to join us. I'm not interested in taking care of a hag. Unfortunately for you, you don't have any value as a woman anymore. There's no point in inviting you if I can't have fun. Your prime is finished.
You're the one that's finished, old man.
Don't get ahead of yourself just because you're Mia's older sister. Your sister might lose her job if you're not careful with how you talk to me. I wouldn't give me that much attitude if I were you. And that's not all. I can make it so that she'll never be able to get a job in the same business at any other company in the country ever again. Are you sure you want to risk your little sister's future on something this insignificant?
If her future depends on your influence, then I'd rather crush it myself. I won't let you ruin a single thing for her.
What can you do? You're just a dirt poor pair of sisters. You don't have any family to rely on. What could a couple of women like you achieve if I use all of my power and connections? I work at a major company and made it to the position of department manager. And my family has owned all of the land around our property for generations.
So what? Why am I supposed to care about all of that?
I guess it's too difficult for you to understand. It means that you can't do anything. You're powerless against me. All right, how about I give you one last chance? I'd feel bad if someone as ignorant as you had to suffer any more than you already have.
Excuse me?
I want you to bring Mia to the hotel room I'm gonna book in a few days.
What?
I'll give you $10,000 when you bring her.
What the hell are you talking about?
I said I'll give you $10,000 if you bring Mia to me. I'll keep it between us and we'll both be happy. What do you think? I'd say it's a pretty good deal. Mia mentioned that you're always working from early in the morning until late at night. You need the money, don't you? You've got no choice but to work your ass off. But if you do as I say, you'll get $10,000 and you won't have to work as hard.
You must really think that I'm an idiot if you're making an offer like that. I don't think I've ever had someone look down on me this much before. Is my sister just some object to you? A bargaining chip? If you're willing to pay money, then there are services for that. Professionals who'll be happy to give you what you want. Leave my sister alone.
I've got a thing for amateurs. I don't need a professional. I just want your sister. You can't make me give up that easily.
I'm not going to forgive you for this. And I swear I am going to make you suffer for this. I'll send you to hell and back for the way you've harassed my sister. Jaden, I've decided I'm going to fight that asshole.
Asshole?
The dumbass creep who's been harassing Mia, I'm going to make him pay, no matter what.
Huh? What happened now? Have you already confronted him?
Yeah. You won't believe how disgusting he was. He even offered me $10,000 in exchange for letting him do whatever he wants with Mia. It's just sickening.
What? What the hell? What kind of offer is that? That's a crime. Why is someone like him a part of the management of a high-profile company?
He didn't even seem to care or realize just how much of a freak he was being. I got shivers just reading his messages. I can't imagine how Mia feels when she has to see him in person.
That's just messed up. Julia, if there's anything I can do, let me know.
Yeah, I'm thinking about using my own connections to sort things out, but I might have to ask you to do something for me later on. Will you help me then?
Sure, I'll do anything. We're gonna be family in a matter of months. I want you to rely on me if there's anything you or Mia need. Oh, hey, how about we ask my mom for some advice when we see her tomorrow? There's no way she can ignore a problem like this if she hears what's been happening.
Oh yeah, your mom graduated from law school, didn't she?
Yeah, she took over the family business, so she wasn't able to start work as a lawyer, but she's still pretty knowledgeable because she studies the law in her free time. I think she'll be a great help. She has a lot of friends who are lawyers and has some acquaintances in the police, too. You don't have to worry about Mia. We'll work things out together.
Yeah, oh thanks, Jaden. First, we've got to get through tomorrow's meeting with your parents, and then I can start thinking about how to deal with that creep. I feel a little better now that I know your mom might be able to help us.
Yeah, don't worry about my parents either. They'll love you. I know they will. I'll see you at the station at 1 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll do my best to make sure they don't hate me.
You bitch! I'm not letting you marry my son. You're not worthy of marrying him. I want you to break up with my son right now. You're never seeing him ever again.
I'm honestly shocked. I didn't expect that you were really Jaden's dad. I knew that you had the same name, but I thought it was just a coincidence. I didn't think that Jaden's dad could be capable of doing something so vile.
My son is the heir to my business. You're just a good-for-nothing with no money and no class. How dare you get close to him and seduce him into proposing to you? I want you to disappear and never show your face to us ever again. Get out of here.
Aiden, I think that you're mistaken about something.
What?
You have a lot of nerve talking to me like that. Jaden and his mom were pretty surprised when you chased me out of the house the moment I introduced myself.
So what if they were? There won't be any problem if you break up with my son. Jaden doesn't need you getting in his way. Leave him.
You must be panicking after finding out that Mia's older sister is actually your son's fiancée. You don't want them finding out about your behavior towards my sister after all. Think about it, Aiden. I'm the one that has the upper hand.
What did you say? What makes you think that you have the upper hand? All I have to do is find Jaden a new wife. He'll be fine without you. He won't even notice that you're gone.
Do you really think that your son will actually let that slide? He's not you. He actually respects me and wants to marry me. He won't agree to anything you say. Either way, I am going to tell Jaden and your wife the truth. I'm going to tell them everything.
Are you sure you want to threaten me? If you tell them, then your sister is going to lose her job. She won't have anywhere to go.
If my sister's company isn't going to defend her from someone like you, then she might as well resign and find another job where they'll actually treat her like a human being.
Is that so? So you're serious about threatening me? Then I guess I have no choice.
You're the one that started threatening us first. I just want you to leave my sister alone.
How much do you want?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
I'm saying that I'll give you however much you want. How much'll it take for you to keep your mouth shut and leave my son alone?
Seriously? Do you think that money is going to solve all your problems?
Of course I do! You don't have any money of your own, and I'm willing to offer you as much as you want as long as you don't say anything to my wife or son.
Listen up, Aiden. Just because our parents passed away early, it doesn't mean that Mia and I don't have any money. You can't treat us like we're poverty-stricken and expect us to fall for your offer. I don't want or need your money.
Of course you need the money. Don't be stupid. If you accept my offer, you won't have to work day and night anymore. You wouldn't have to work so desperately if you weren't in need of money, would you?
That's where you've misunderstood me. I'm a proud workaholic, and I happen to be a short sleeper, too. I make the most of all my waking hours. Besides, I'm running my own company. I can't help being busy.
What? You run a company?
Yeah, I have my own employees, and so far business is going pretty well. We make a decent profit, so I don't need any of your money.
Any company run by a woman like you is bound to be a failure. I bet it's just a no-name cottage industry.
If you're going to compare it to the national enterprise that is your company, then yeah, I can't deny that. However, small as it may be, I still have many connections of my own. I actually play golf with the CEO of your company on a fairly regular basis.
What?
So I doubt that you'll be able to put pressure on my sister's company to fire her. You also mentioned that your family has owned the land around your home for generations, but I hear that it's Jaden's mom's family who owns the land, not yours. You married into her family, but that doesn't give you the right to be stuck up. You haven't brought anything into the equation.
Wait a minute. How do you know so much about our family?
Isn't it obvious? I'm going to marry your son. Of course I know this much about your family. He's told me almost everything, just like I've told him pretty much everything there is to know about Mia and I. Don't think you'll get away with any of this. You've got another thing coming.
Julia! Julia, please, you've got to help me!
Excuse me?
You're the only one that can fix this mess. My wife's blown a fuse because of all the photos and screenshots you showed her. She's saying that she wants a divorce.
Oh, really? I've already heard the news from Jaden. He told me that they all looked through your phone and he showed them proof of your conversations with my sister. He said that they found similar chats with several other girls from your company too, some proving that you were having affairs too. That's what helped them realize that the money you were handing over to those women was actually money you stole from your wife's real estate business. Using your wife's money to pay other women to sleep with you? You are sick. I think it's only natural that she wants a divorce.
They're all saying that they want to cut ties with me.
Of course they'd say that if my husband or father did what you did. I'd tell him to stay out of my life too. What are you so surprised about? You're just getting the treatment you deserve.
My life is gonna be ruined. Don't you care about what happens to me?
Huh? Why would I?
I'm Jaden's father. If you're gonna marry him, you should have more compassion towards me.
Really? I don't think so. I mean, Jaden has nothing but contempt for you now. If he doesn't want to have anything to do with you, then I'm not arguing with him. Frankly, I don't care what happens to you.
Please, I was just joking when I said all of those things to Mia. I was just trying to be friendly.
You're the joke, Aiden. You can't seriously believe that you can brush everything you did off as a joke.
When I was younger, everyone made jokes like that. It was normal for everyone to share dirty jokes. I don't see what the big deal is. The girls I knew back then would laugh along with us, and they weren't so uptight. I just couldn't help but do that with your sister, too. I thought she'd understand that I wasn't being serious.
Well, I'm afraid that in this day and age, those kinds of jokes aren't appropriate anymore. And I'm pretty sure that all those women you thought were laughing along with you in the past were probably creeped out and were angry with how you were treating them. Those smiles and laughs were just a facade to avoid trouble.
Julia, please, I'll apologize to your sister too, and I promise that I won't get her fired. Can you just talk to my wife and son and get them to calm down? I want my wife to rethink the divorce. She's just overreacting. Please, I'm begging you. I know that they'll listen if you talk some sense into them. You're the only one that can fix everything.
I'm not interested. Why should I help the man that offered me money in exchange for giving up my own little sister?
All right. Then how about I work out a contract between your company and mine? You don't want to miss a golden opportunity to let your company grow, do you? I'll convince the management that creating a partnership with you is in all of our best interests. What do you think?
No way. We work in completely different businesses. And even if we could work out a contract between our companies, I'm not interested in doing it through you. I've got my own team of reliable salesmen who can do it for me.
All right, then can you at least keep it a secret from my managers? I'm begging you. At this rate, I'm gonna lose my wife, my family, and my home. If my company finds out about this, I'll lose my job too. I'll lose everything.
Good. You don't deserve any of that anyway.
What?
That's what you get for doing something so depraved. You know, we did a little digging, and it didn't take us long to find proof that you've been doing this sort of thing for years. We got a few statements from women who worked in subcontractors for your company who said that you had used your position to force them into having relationships they weren't comfortable with. You've been making advances on women that don't have the power to stand up to you.
What? No, they all consented to everything that happened between us. I never used my position to force them to anything.
We'll find out if that's really true if we investigate this further. Why don't you just come clean and stop treating women like they're objects? You shouldn't be in a position of power, and if your company decides to penalize you for your actions, I strongly agree. You can't be trusted anymore.
No, I really am sorry. I regret ever taking advantage of my position, and I won't ever do anything like it ever again, I swear. So please, forgive me. Have mercy. Don't tell my managers.
I told you, didn't I? That I would never forgive you and that I was going to make you suffer the same way my sister did. If you're going to take responsibility and pay for everything you did to my sister and all those other women, that's the least you can do and prove that you really do feel remorse for your actions. After that, Mia and I did some more investigating and spoke to the women who had been victims of Aiden's sick behavior. It seems that there really were some women who had been forced to do things that they hadn't consented to. Many of those victims had given up on getting justice and were relieved to hear that we were going to make him pay. We did as much research as possible and shared all of our findings, as well as proof of his conversations with Mia with the police. The only problem was that many of his past victims no longer had evidence of what had happened to them. And ultimately, we couldn't get Aiden put behind bars. Instead, with the appeal of his victims, we settled things out of court and made him pay compensation to every single woman he caused harm to. After his wife had left him, he had received some money in the divorce, so we demanded that he pay a fortune to every single woman. Of course, we didn't want to prolong their suffering, so we made sure to make him pay them in one go. It seems that Aiden is currently living off the remainder of the money he got in his divorce, but I doubt that it'll last very long. It certainly won't be enough for when he's too old to work, that's for sure. Jaden mentioned that he's always been a big spender, so I can't imagine him being capable of putting aside any money either. It's clear to anyone that he's bound to have trouble making ends meet in the future, so I just hope that he'll see just how tough it is to really live in poverty and will think twice before ever looking down on people that don't have as much money as he did. After we dealt with all the issues surrounding his dad, Jaden and I finally tied the knot. His father was a good-for-nothing that deserved everything he got, but I'm lucky that both Jaden and his mom are good, honest people, and I'm looking forward to our future together. After the way they both cut ties with Aiden when they found out what he had done, and how Jaden had supported my sister and I through all of the investigations, I'm confident that he is the only man for me, and that I can rely on him no matter what obstacles we face in the future.